Hello and welcome to Scorpion's Adventures. I am your host Scorpion and welcome to another Bellwright video. Today we're going to talk about farming and mining and how to maximize your farm and to make sure you're getting high priority or high maximization out of your mining camps. So let's start with farms here. So when you place your farms, they don't have any costs or resources to do so, but one thing you can do is, now if you don't do anything with it and you have seeds, your villagers or followers are going to just till and farm and grow whatever it is that they feel. What I have found helpful here is you go to your manage of your farm and you have the opportunity to disable anything that you don't want to grow and enable anything that you do want to grow, but then also set a priority so that if they have the seed, they will plant it. So I have split my farm into two different resources. I have one for kind of craftable building resources, so that's what this one here is on the right. So you'll see that I've got wheat when I eventually complete the quest to go and get some wheat. I have flax, and then I have sage and hemp growing all within this one spot. I do have cotton, but I've decided to turn that off because that's more of a later tier item that I will need, and right now I want to make sure that I have a good supply of flax, sage, and hemp. So that's what this farm is mainly about, and really that's kind of what I do here. And then now the followers are going to come and they will plant based on what has been set for a priority. Then when we move over to this farm, this is a food farm. So as you can see, I've turned off again other items such as cotton, flax, sage, and hemp. And what I'm working on growing is really all of the food supplies. So we've got potatoes, turnips, radishes. Actually, I should turn off wheat. Don't need wheat over on this side. And then beetroot, onions, and garlic. So that's what we have going on in this farm. So again, mainly a food supply. Now, one thing I have noticed is that you do have items still here in inventory, and they're not picking it up all the time, but they will. Again, it all comes down to how many people you have set to farm. Now, I have just recently, I used to only just have Cressida as our farmer, but recently I've kind of allowed Lubomir, Odo, and Volter to do some farming. So depending on what's going on, they'll come over and they'll do some weeding, they'll do some tilling, etc., just based on what the need is. And occasionally when food supplies get low, they're going to harvest and come over here and fill our chest. So as you can see, we've got some onions and we've got some radishes there. I always like to have a good balance of different vegetables in there. Garlic and sage are going to be great for later on when you start using your cauldron to make stews and so forth. So that's why I'd like to have a higher supply of those items. And so that takes care of farming. Now let's move on to mining. So when we do that, first I'm going to pull up my map here, and if you were watching any of my playthrough videos, you'll recall that I set up my mining camp over here, and the reason why I did that is it's right beside a tin ore area, and then also over here is tin ore. Now, when I had set that up, I had originally asked to have copper collected, and I found that all that my followers were collecting were stone and tin ore, and I was like, well, why the heck are they doing that? Well, simply put, that's because the camp is here and copper is all the way over here. And I did find out that your followers do have a radius, or actually not the followers, but your camp has a radius in terms of how far away they are willing to, like the camp itself will kind of include on its collectible radius. So setting up the mining camp over here definitely is way too far away from collecting copper from any one of these 3 nodes. So what I had to do is set up a second mining camp over here, and I dropped it kind of right in the middle of these 3. And now my followers will go and collect copper from in that area. And I've got it currently set to top up at 15. I'd have to go over there to see what they have in its inventory, to see, you know, if they've already reached that max or if there's still more to do. But that's really it. When you're setting up your mining camps, you could set them up so that they're right in your camp and it's easy for you to go and grab what's in their inventory. But if you do that, so for example, if I had it say right here next to my logging camp, that restricts them to maybe only picking up tin from this node, whereas, you know, if I placed it there, there's a chance that they can grab it from this node, and I don't know if this one here is within reach. So closer to the node that you set your camp, the better the yield you're going to have. Now eventually, once you have exhausted this node, you are going to have to pick up and move to more remote locations. And you know, for example, here, if I exhausted these 3 nodes, then I'd have to start moving. That's when you might want to start setting up outposts and make them devoted just to mining. And eventually, when I thin out the trees for logging in this area, I'll have to set up an outpost to collect logs and so forth. But that's next level, that's later level type problems for me. Right now we're still early days, still tier 1, and the nodes that I have nearby are still plentiful. Well, that's it. I hope that you found this video informative. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I do appreciate your support on this channel, and feel free to drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video and if there's anything you wanted to see. And this is Scorpion saying thank you for watching. Enjoy Bellwright and have a great day.